I am so excited. Just met up with Jeremy and Dave, and the boat is looking firefly. And we are gonna go slay some steelhead on several different rivers. One of them being the Wilson River. We're down here in Oregon. My first time on Oregon water, and my first time fishing with Jeremy, so let's do it. Blessed in the West, baby.
Yeah. Full of water.
Yeah, we got nothing coming out yet. Oh, actually, we're filling it up with St. Granite.
Are we?
If we dip it in.
Is there even any water in here?
Nope.
Go and put the plug in.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
About to go down.
Marker there, and then I'll get everything set up here.
Cool, man. Let's do it. All right, brother.
Now it's on.
People hitting it.
Now it's on. Now it's on.
Your other one.
Okay. You put
So you might want.
What'd you put on a chubby?
No, I got right here.
I want to check this out.
Or wait,
That's you.
that rod.
Look at this, buddy. New G Limus. And you went pink, huh?
I went like a light orange.
Okay. And then, so I want to see what you got rolling here, Dave. Okay, so you're just doing inline split shots, huh?
I'm gonna try that today.
Okay.
The other way I do with a.
Are these those still bobbers too? It's just a different
Yeah, it's
brand.
a different brand.
So you think the ones I've got are just a bit too light for this?
For
that
for
weight?
1/8 ounce and all that weight you got on it.
Okay.
This is how you actually do
Slow
it.
process. This is why we start in the dark.
Yeah.
Because it
Try
takes
and roll up.
takes several hours just to get up to the top. What are you looking for in the length? Like, because there's different actions, there's different lengths.
You want to be able to keep your line off the water. You want to keep it what they call mending. You want to be able to mend your line easier. So a longer rod tends to help you with the mend. Now in a boat, a longer rod can be tough because if your tip gets wrapped, you're having to bring in a 9.5, 10-foot rod. So anywhere from a 9 to a 10-foot rod is a good one for this bobber beat. In action, you want what they call backbone at the kind of this section of your rod. You want enough backbone to when you swing on a fish, you get this part of the rod is what's going to put the hook in the fish's mouth.
Okay, not the tip.
The tip is the sensitive part, keeps the rod nice and light. This is where you're going to get all your power from. So you want enough in here to when you finally want to get that hook put in the fish that it actually sticks it, buries that hook good deep. So typically with a steelhead rod, a 8 to 12 pound rating is pretty good. You can go even a little higher. You can go to it 8 to 17, but that for me I like 8 to 12.
A little bit lighter.
Or, yeah, 9 foot to 10 foot, 8 to 12.
Well, you guys just taught me something.
So these bobbers here, they're a fixed bobber, meaning you don't have a slider on it. So this bobber, wherever you set it, it's going to stay. So we're ending up with a pretty long leader when it comes to casting, but I personally, it's preference. I like the fixed float. You don't have to have it.
Right.
It's just a lot of the fishing stuff is all personal preference.
But a fixed float, for me personally, that gives me the indicator quicker that there's something on it.
Well, and you don't have the resistance. Sometimes the bobber doesn't sink as quick on a sliding float, so you're sometimes pulling your presentation off the bottom. And these fish, they're on the bottom of the water column, so you want to make sure you're getting down in front of them as quick as possible.
Jeremy, are you trying to look that cool, or is that just natural?
It's just happening.
That's just natural?
Yeah, it's natural.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we can work with it.
Wait till the sun comes up. It doesn't look nearly as cool.
I'm busy at work right now, so I don't think I can make it, but
I was like, yeah, keep
I would have been able to, but...
like, oh man, we scratched 8 fish. I was like, yeah, schedule freed up. Let's roll.
Right now.
Get your honeydews.
You know, it's
done.
funny because I've wanted a drift boat for so long, and I've always had sleds, and Dave's always got a drift boat, so it's going to be cool to get some road experience from Dave and start hitting these rivers when my kids get older.
So a seam is kind of your break of some slow water to the faster water, and that's what the fish tend to hang on. So you're looking for those kind of edges, but you'll catch a fish in some just.
I can dig it. So my first YouTube channel was going to be called Ghost Fisher TV. And the reason being, I got the name on a steelhead trip. So we went on a steelhead trip, and I kept like, you know, swinging and missing, and they're like, dude, those ain't bites, it's hitting the bottom. I'm like, guys, I've been fishing before, I know what a fish bite feels like. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. So I started buying into what they're saying. I'm like, okay, so yeah, I am the inexperienced fisherman here, I should just be listening. But I just couldn't help myself. Every time I thought a fish bite, I'd pull back. And I was the only one that ended up catching fish
that one
that
buddy,
day.
he never missed a fish, but he also never missed a rock. But I've had those times where I in my head think that I'm hitting bottom for sure. Next thing you know, a fish comes jumping. Yeah, fishing, what the great thing about it is you think you can get it all figured out, and these fish will humble you for sure. You'll learn something new, and that's what keeps it exciting.
Right, that's why I love bow hunting. Like, I get my butt kicked on the regular.
I shot my first small buck on a bow, and it's so much more exciting than rifle.
I think it's that you're so close to them.
I was 442, and that was the biggest bull of my life, and I know that guy, I would never got in range to shoot that with a bow, so.
Absolutely.
I like them both. I like anything hunt fishing, right?
Right, there you go.
Doesn't matter.
I think the challenge is what draws me to all of it.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely.
Because, they might...
Camaraderie, good friends, family.
Right, and you see something at 400 yards and you got a rifle. If you don't know how to shoot the rifle, it doesn't mean anything.
I think, what puts it in perspective, like taking my wife this year for the first time, on the first hunt, she's cold and she's like, what are we doing? We're elk hunting. And, but by day 5, I'm like, we gotta go. Nanny's texting saying that she's out of time, and she's like, one more draw. I mean,
Yeah.
Seeing that excitement in people is pretty cool.
You tend to have to mend it a lot more when you're upstream of it. Mm-hmm. So once you start getting downstream, it's just I've done that. I've been on the receiving end of it, and I've been on the end where I'm doing it to other people. It's part of fishing.
My uncle, one time, gave me a jar of his eggs, and I caught so many fish, I just came back, I'm like, hey, can I buy some more? And he's like, Bo, I don't sell these, like, blah, 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 and this and that. I'm like, Uncle, whatever it takes, I just want some of his eggs, because I fished with those eggs, and in the same day I fished with the eggs we bought, and he didn't catch anything, so.
He was getting chased by something.
Yeah, a little cutty, man, he got way out of the air.
Like a bull, maybe?
That was probably a sea run cutthroat.
Yeah, see, the cutthroats are west slope up in the Yakima.
Yeah, they don't go anywhere. I just lightly flip it over there to the right, just kind of downstream of those branches is little willows. I think. Yeah, try that. Give that a go.
That should roll right back in there. Look at that. We got him on a fixed here. I need to swing. Come on, we're due.
We had a... There we go. Let's try that. It's going to be shallow at first, so it's ready to be kind of ticking for a minute. This bush right here in the water is like one of my favorite Chinook holes right in there. Said that.
And he's just about to look at the bald eagle.
Slow water. I don't know if bobber dog is going to be our trick. Yeah. No. He's coming back around.
He goes bald eagle, and I start to look, and my bobber goes yeet.
Yeah, it almost hit that log. We're like, whoa, okay, bud. There we go.
Did not feel fishy like that other one.
Still worth pulling back on, though.
I don't have sunglasses because I didn't think it was going to be sunny, so I'm going to try to take the glare a little bit. There are some sneaky rocks in this river, too, that if you get tend to always end up being fish.
I think that was bottom of it.
I think.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's bottom now, for sure.
It was way back there. It does come up. It's just a little trench right through here.
I'm telling you, I probably like a blood knot for fluorocarbon, and the reason you have to do it is since we're running these kind of bobber doggers or longer leaders, we need to be able to go through the guides without swivels coming up through the guides. So the guy came up with it, and it's kind of just, it originally was pretty big fly fishing right there.
Like I said, the Alberto knot, the one I've watched, the video that I learned it from, it seemed like the guy was a striper fisherman, and it's a good knot for a braid to fluorocarbon knot, is what he kind of...
What does it do? You were saying there's a, it's almost like a...
It's almost like he describes it in the video, it's almost like a Chinese finger trap. So the harder you pull, the actually tighter this knot gets. And I've done uni knots and stuff like that. This knot to me is just, it's really nice and streamlined. So it casts really well, and it's really strong. So I haven't had any problems with it. Mend is actually going to be a downstream, and most bobber fishermen are used to a bobber pointed straight up. This one's going to be laying on its side, and you're going to want it actually kind of dragging downstream. We'll kind of show you. Jeremy will cast out here once I pull the anchor, and it's just a whole different concept when it comes to fishing a bobber.
Backwards of everything you've ever learned. So that's a little out high.
Get the most natural presentation. And give it enough so he doesn't have to have his rod or his line, 100 yards above the boat.
Wow, I just nailed that shot, you guys.
Did you?
Yeah, like I went with him all the way to it, and I seen it hit the water.
Pretty good right now.
Yeah, that's looking magnificent to me.
If you're looking for about the right thing to be doing, you look just a tiny bit of that slack. There we go. Now drop it in. There we go. These fish, it's getting to the kind of the end of the peak season. It's still good, but we're starting to get the fish. Some of these steelhead will actually come up river, they do their spawn, and then some of them will actually go back out to the salt, and they'll come back again in another year.
1 year?
Yeah, so most of them come back in 3 years is their spawning cycle. That seam over there on the left side off the tip of this island. Oh, there we go. That works. Bring it towards us just a little bit, and try and set it right there. One thing is these fish are going to be in the deeper, they're either going to be in the top of the choppy stuff, or they're going to be sitting in these deeper pockets. If it was up around 6 foot, then yeah, I wouldn't even probably be fishing this.
What are we at today? 5'5"?
We're like 5'3", I think.
So are you guys talking about how much water's moving through, or depth?
On the river gauge, there's a height.
Gotcha.
And just over the years, you kind of figure out what heights you like. And
right.
This river fishes really well at 5'8" and down to about 5 foot. You start getting under 5 foot, and it gets difficult. 5'6" is like perfect. All right, there we go. Come on.
Take down. Just a little tippy tappy, tip tip tip. What I like about catching them on the spinners is man, they attack it.
Oh man, summer steelhead on spinners is
So
definitely something special.
Right.
They always like to jump.
Yeah, they do the helicopters.
We haven't even got to the gold.
No, these are the.
I haven't, I'm still yet to catch a fish in that weird. I love that stretch right there, but I've never hooked a fish there. See if we're playing slow water fish.
Yeah. Kind of far bank. You see all the snags and everything. You don't want to get too close to it. Go ahead and send it. The rower definitely misses a lot of fish.
I can't even imagine a rower even catching a fish, honestly, but
Yeah,
if you're a pro, you can do it.
Screamer last week, man. Oh man. and it popped off right about the time it got to the pole. It was screaming. Your bobber fish.
Wow, this is just epic scenery right here.
Yeah,
The
like
fog
I said,
on
if
it.
weren't for the cows, it'd be
Well, yeah.
Paradise.
they don't bother me.
All right, guys. Since we got a few minutes here, we're gonna do some introductions. I'm gonna start out with your host right here, Jeremy, king of Bomb Squad. This guy's a steelhead fisherman. He's got me out here on a river in Oregon, and it's slow right now. That's why we're doing a couple interviews, but I mean, doesn't Jeremy look cool?
Oh man, it's so cool. Like Dave said, don't let it come up though.
But this is the key ingredient right here.
Dave Campbell.
There you go. We got Dave Campbell on board. He's running the sticks, and this is our secret ingredient here, folks, because you know, honestly, me personally, without him, I'd just be floating down this river. You know, I'd throw some stuff in, but chances of catching something very slim.
Well, with fishing, there's no guarantees, but I think we got good chances today.
We're gonna make it happen.
Actually, this is the only 20-pound hatchery fish I ever caught was down this tail out 2 years ago. Your rod fish experience? That should work. It's probably catching right now. It's a little gravity. It's going to be right at the end probably if we get a fish.
That snag.
That snag? Yep. Point it straight out.
It didn't bend the hook.
The top one.
Oh, it did. It did, didn't it?
Oh, dude, I had the camera rolling and everything on you. That was gonna be it.
Pop back up, I would.
That was gonna be it right there, too. Now this is where the guide comes in handy, people.
It looked like it flashed and let go, right?
I swear I saw a flash.
Yeah.
It could have been
I think it
glare.
grabbed it and just spit it.
Could have been glare
It was
though.
pretty dang fish.
I'm only 1 cup of coffee deep right now, so I can't say I'm seeing things correctly.
Not
Yeah, I need
hallucinating yet.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
dude.
it was looking good.
activity. So pretty much straight across, like off that little tree branch there. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Buddy, I'm getting my nose back. I was pretty rusty last time.
Got one more here. Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of sticks.
That one grabbed.
Another thing, if I was out here, there would only be like 3 poles in this boat, so we'd have to stop a lot.
Yeah, we might be adjusting, you know, the amount of weight we put on and everything. It's sometimes you got to do a little learning, you know, what the river conditions are going to be like, you know, as you fish. So,
All right, guys, so what just happened to us is this fish evaded us back here, and now these guys behind us just went ahead and caught him. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say we're not going to let that happen one more time. We're just going to...
we could leave a couple.
A little grab and spit before I get. That's the thing that sometimes you won't swim through. I think that it's going to start lighting up right now. That sun's going to come out. This fish is about to go crazy.